But yeah, to close us out, be sure to follow us on Twitter at Koppai Media. Be sure to check us out on Instagram, Koppai Media. We're going to be trying to feed that more. That one's a little bit trickier to do because you can't schedule posts on there. So we have to be live and present to update our Instagram, which with the busyness of work and school and just other stuff we're doing for Koppai, that can be kind of tricky. Be sure to follow us on YouTube if you're listening on SoundCloud or iTunes. Just search for Koppai Productions on YouTube. And also be sure to check us out on SoundCloud and iTunes. Koppai Podcast is where we're going to be found there. I've been tweeting out a bunch this week and going to try to be better about that moving forward, to kind of focus on our mentality of building up a community. Understand that if we do tweet at you, we're just trying to talk about Nintendo. We very much so care about Nintendo and love Nintendo and want to build up the brand, because it's just something like a company that's been so good to us, and we want to like just help them. We want them to be successful. We we may sound like the way I'm phrasing all this is I want to sound very professional online, and I want to sound like very encouraging to people because I want us to be a source of positive discussion. Raylyn Serrano on Twitter, putting you on blast, tweeted 24 minutes ago when we're recording this. Okay, so at Koppai Media is in Nintendo America's pocket so deep they're subsisting on Pocketland. Basically saying, dang, these guys are in Nintendo's money pouch so deep, they're just sucking on lint now. And I responded, honestly, we're just a Nintendo podcast trying to stir up positive discussion and gain some followers while we're at it. Although, have you tasted Bill Trennan's Pocket Lint? Super tasty. So, hopefully Bill Trennan
Well,
sees that.
no, you are they're onto something because you are part of something like I'm not. I'm free.
No,
They can tweet at me and I'm free of any guilt, but you are deep in Nintendo's pockets and there's something
that is
going
not
on.
true at all. No, what are you doing putting me on blast?
You're
No,
on blast. You're part of the conspiracy keeping the NX hidden.
oh my
It's not gonna
gosh,
come out till
no. We are
2017 because it
not in
has.
any way being endorsed or paid by Nintendo. We wish we were.
Yeah,
Like
definitely. I
we
would
would
love
take
it.
any sort of sponsorship or
You need to
program
give
with
me some of
Nintendo.
that Nintendo money.
Yeah, no. If we had any Nintendo money, I wouldn't be in this spare room right now, and
You're
I
keeping
wouldn't
it
be working
hidden.
at Starbucks. No offense against Starbucks,
You're
best job
putting
I've
it in
had.
one of those little mail mailboxes that like Kaylee, Mike, break. You're putting it in for your marriage in the future. It's all being stored.
No, Mike Ehrmantraut, my little Kaylee fund.
Yeah,
Um,
from your Nintendo money,
no,
your
I
conspiracy and the
wish.
Illuminati.
No, because I'm tweeting out to people and I am being very encouraging of Star Fox, but I
Yeah.
am calling out the crap that it has. If
Hmm.
people are saying that the controls are bad, I'm not saying, no, you're wrong. I'm saying, you're right. They're tricky. Here's a piece of advice to make it more enjoyable because I want Star Fox to stick around and I want this game to do well, not because we're sponsored by Nintendo, but
Right.
because Star Fox is legit and
Yeah,
the
it's a
game is a
great
lot of
game.
fun. And for some reason, and for I guess for rightful reason, people are hating on the controls because they are a little bit wonky for a lot of people at first. But if you stick with them, the game actually becomes really fun. And because the media out there is already being so loud against the game, I'm trying to be a force to kind of balance that out and be like, no, like if someone's tweeting out, "Hey, Star Fox is kind of fun," it seems like that's kind of from a timid voice of people being like, um, I know I'm in the minority here, and I'm trying to build those people up, especially to kind of bring them into our community. I mean, one, like in all transparency, to be like, "Yo, follow us" because we want more followers. But two, because the people that are part of Kopai should be people that love Nintendo. The same way, like when you look at the comments on PS, I love you XOXO and Podcasts Unlocked, like those people, sometimes to a fault, will defend Uncharted and defend Halo. And they recognize the flaws in the series. Like Colin will call out that he doesn't like the Uncharted multiple choice questions and stuff. Like there's parts of the series he doesn't like, but he'll also usually give it the benefit of a doubt if it's delayed. Like he'll be like, all right, I don't care because I love the game no matter what. Like they admittedly are fanboys, and we are too with Nintendo. And we'll avoid bias and we'll call out the fact that Metroid Federation Force has the worst art style we've seen in years. But we'll also
Yeah.
be like, you know what? At the end of the day,
Triforce
though,
Heroes.
yeah, we've called out Triforce Heroes, and it wasn't until like a few recent weeks ago that we actually got it, or I actually
Well,
got
and
it.
it's not like we were like Mario Tennis, oh yeah, or
Yeah, like I mean,
Amiibo
we're not.
Festival, and
So when we do promote these games, we're doing much so out of like we like this game, we want to see it succeed, and we want to make sure that we build up a community of people that are like-minded in that way that want to build up the series. And so to say that we're in Nintendo's pocket, one, no. We'll if ever
one
in the
day
future somehow, yeah, if ever in the future one day we're somehow included in a Nintendo program, or like if we're brought on like as a sponsor, we're like, hey, we're
everybody
gonna
will know.
yeah, we're gonna send you a copy of Zelda NX, and we want you to play it and do a 15-minute Let's Play before it comes out. But like, make sure you focus on this. Like, we'll say this is sponsored by Nintendo. Like, we will tell you. Like, we'll
Yeah,
probably
for
even
sure.
call out this previous joke of being. But until then, if we're even if it sounds super cheesy, and if even if we're like tweeting hundreds of tweets a day about Star Fox, it's because we're just working our butts off trying to get people to talk about it for honestly more so for our game than for Nintendo's gain, simply out of this thing that we want to build up our community.
We're just two
Uh,
guys with a dream.
mm, what more can you say? And so sorry if it seems like we're anything other than that. Like if it comes across as ingenuine. Honestly, we're going about it this way instead of there's programs out there where you can buy followers. You can tell a program to like every tweet with hashtag StarFox, and people gain a lot of followers that way. We've had experiences with that with a previous encounter of someone liking every single tweet with hashtag Amiibo, and it's how someone won our previous Amiibo giveaway. And a lot of times that can seem robotic because and that seems ingenuine because then we're just favoring tweets for the sake of getting followers. But we're doing this we're making sure that every tweet that we respond to, we also bring about a unique discussion point. And so that can maybe seem like we're going like hardcore PR, but it's almost the exact opposite. We're trying to be less fake with people and be more real by making each tweet a custom tweet about the game. And so hopefully people are enjoying that discussion. I mean, just in the midst of talking about this, we got another follower and someone saying that they're going to try to go out and buy Star Fox because of our recommendation of the game, which I think is awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's a really cool, like just the same way that the PlayStation Vita sold much so because of Podcast Beyond, and then now PS I Love You XOXO. It'll be cool to have these moments, hopefully moving forward, where our community can help be like, yo, I bought Star Fox Zero because of Koppai. Like that would be so legit. And it seems like it's already happening a couple times this weekend. And hopefully it can happen on a larger scale. And once again, we're not saying, yeah, that's so legit because now we'll get another paycheck from Nintendo. We're saying that's so legit because this game deserves to be played because it's a fun game. And this series needs to continue on the NX. Like, we can't lose Star Fox, and you have to vote with your wallet. Like, Nintendo will do what they want at the end of the day, but sales help. They're a business. And um, so I felt like I should address that in the podcast before um, we have another week for it to get maybe out of hand if people are thinking that way. I don't want those negative vibes to be driving online, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, definitely. Probably just trolling, but
Yeah, probably troll. I mean, I looked at a few of his previous tweets. I mean, even his Twitter. I mean, what is he? Raylano Serrano or Raylan Serrano? Everyone go tweet at him and be like, "Yo, buy Star Fox," because he tweeted out was gonna buy the new Star Fox Zero, but thanks to he like tagged his two friends for saving me money, and then I tweeted at him, "Oh no, the game is real fun and worth checking out. Maybe give
Aziz
it a second."
Ansari. Oh
Oh
no!
no, no! Oh man, Master of None was such a good show. I said the game is real fun and worth checking out. Maybe give it a second thought. Hashtag Star Fox Zero. Once again, I used the hashtag to get more views on us. And then he said I watched them play it and it wasn't fun. It reused assets from Star Fox 64, but not as good as Star Fox 64. Granted, that is a pretty valid criticism of the game. That it's honestly a shot-for-shot remake, and even the dialogue options and stuff. Um, and then it was 20 minutes later. He must have done some digging on us and been like, oh, okay, so Koppai Media is in Nintendo's pocket. Um, and so yeah, he had some valid concerns, and I was just like, because I'm just looking through people that are tweeting about the game, and he was one of the few that was against it. A lot of people are like, dang, I'm loving this game,
Yeah,
and so that's why I saw his tweet of him being against it, and it seemed like he was getting his impression from someone else of not getting it, and I was like, oh no, what did they say? Because maybe they just heard it from hearsay too. Like, we've actually been hearing a lot of good things. Maybe we can nudge you in the right direction. It may be something you like if you did like the other Star Fox games. And so once again, all out of noble, like, integrity decisions.
Yeah.
But yeah. So sorry for going long and adding that extra rant, but feel like it was something that needed to be said, and it's gonna be just it's gonna be cool because I'm gonna keep trying that this whole week of just whenever there's a new Nintendo announcement, I'm just gonna see if people are talking about it and see if I can join in the conversation because um, that's what we want to do with Koppai is have a place where people can talk positively about Nintendo because it's the reason we started Koppai was that we felt like we couldn't like there wasn't really a place like that out there. It seemed like most places online about Nintendo were either super just like kind of indifferent, where like Nintendo voice chat, as awesome as they are, like the conversations sometimes aren't like completely like going beyond the podcast. Like the Jose and Pear and Brian themselves have really awesome sort of discussion, but because they're kind of caught up in that IGN ecosystem, you have a lot of people coming over from Xbox and PlayStation, and like it's just kind of the bummer nature of just the way that is. Although they are
Mhm.
starting a new YouTube channel, which I'm excited to check out to see maybe how things adjust to that. Um, but there, it seems like a lot of places have like kind of toxic discussion on Nintendo because you have people from the other kind of fanboy wars oozing in, and so we want to build Koppai on a foundation of people that love Nintendo, and so
Well,
that's
not,
why we're doing all
yeah,
this.
and well, I think that I think that there's just some of our perspectives I think that we've had because we've always talked Nintendo and reflected on other discussions. Like we've always listened to Nintendo Voice Chat and Game Explain and all the other channels. We've always followed Nintendo news from wherever it is, from My Nintendo News, from Nintendo Life, from Nintendo World, wherever we get it, from IGN,
Mm-hmm.
from Kotaku, wherever we get our news. We've always,
Kotaku. I
but
read it on a video game website called Kotaku.
yeah, they were camping. But yeah, I just think that we've always discussed the news and then found kind of that we have perspectives and thoughts on Nintendo and that maybe other people don't think about or doesn't come to them or they don't get a chance to really get into.
Hmm.
And I think that sometimes we offer some just other sides or just our thoughts which sometimes differ a bit from the
Hmm.
other discussions, and so it's adding another. I think there's always room for more perspective and more, conversation about these things. So I think that we just are trying to offer what we see as some valid input into the Nintendo community and world. So yeah,
Yeah,
I
definitely. So yeah, so we're not sponsored by Nintendo.
no.
We're hoping to grow and we're hoping to expand and hoping to be a part of Nintendo's culture in the future, and appear at E3 and appear at PAX and appear maybe even like in these Nintendo minutes and stuff. Like that'd be such a surreal moment to have happen. But until then, and even then, we're always going to be offering genuine discussion, and we're not going to have any sort of contract or agreement that prevents us from being completely honest. The fact that we're supporting Star Fox means we actually do like Star Fox, which you can head over to youtube.com or Patreon or SoundCloud or iTunes and find a link to our review discussion on Star Fox, um, brought to you by Koppai Productions.